So blurred.
Means a lot. It means a lot to represent this franchise. Jeannie, I told Jeannie when I came here that I was going to put this franchise back in a position where it belongs. Her late great father did it for so many years, and she just, took it on after that. And for me to be a part of such a historical franchise is it's an unbelievable feeling, not only for myself, but for my teammates, for the organization, for the coaches, for the trainers, everybody that's here. We just want our respect. Rob wants his respect. Coach Vogel wants his respect. Our organization wants their respect. Laker Nation wants their respect. And I want my damn respect, too.
So this is how we're doing this thing today.
I can't
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got my drink.
I can't take it.
You got your celebration cigar too?
Yeah,
As you can see, last night I topped a lot of this off, But
Hey! I'm right there with you. I got my crown for today's show.
got some of that too, kid.
And then for those who are tuning in, I got my Ciroc for Tuesday show. We celebrating this thing all week long. Hey, look, we on the same page. we on the same page, baby.
Still what champions do. You see what I'm saying around
I'm saying around here. But anyways, everybody, thank you for tuning in to a show of Beyond the Game. If it's your first time tuning in, it's your boy Nephew Q. Some of y'all might know my uncle Shannon Sharp. And then over here we got Ralph. Go introduce yourself, Ralph, man.
I mean, what you want me to say? This ain't my day. Happy birthday, Q. Happy birthday. That's all
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that. And then we got down below me, we got my guy Smith Mello, aka Daniel, aka another one, LA. Go and say what's up to the people one time.
this is all I got for y'all.
No place to be. You got to be there to know it. Yes, sir. Keep on riding. It's all right. We're gonna keep riding and vibing, and then we got my guy B Legend down there. Go and say what's up to the people, B Legend. We love it. What's up?
Oh my God, man! I can't still.
Well, everybody tuning in case y'all ain't realized and noticed this, the LA Lakers just captured their 17th NBA championship last night with the victory over the Miami Heat, with LeBron James winning the finals MVP last night. They went ahead and wrapped it up. But no disrespect to Jimmy Butler. He gave it his all out there last night, man. He did everything he possibly could for the Miami Heat. So give him his respect as he averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 43 minutes a game. But last night he was just gassed. He had nothing left in the tank, man. He had nothing left in the tank. But like everybody is stating, it is my birthday, so everybody else, we put up the birthday pictures for everybody else, so I had to do it for myself as well. So here's a throwback picture. Let me find it real quick. A young Q Walker right here. Bam, gonna throw that thing on up her. Yeah, man, little young Q Walker right there. But let's get right on into the proceedings of the show. I'll let Ralph go first since this ain't his day.
This ain't
Ralph,
my day, man.
Ralph, what was your thoughts on last night's game, man? What was your thoughts?
I think we all seen it coming. I mean, we all knew the Lakers was gonna win once they got to the series with the Heat. I mean, what do you want me to say, Legend? I'm not buried sitting here. You ain't gotta go through all that. I mean, it is what it is.
Who did you pick, Ralph?
I picked the Lakers in 6. But
who'd you pick at the beginning of the playoffs?
The Clippers.
Okay. I just wanted to establish that. Go ahead, though. You got it. Go ahead.
Miami just didn't have enough. I mean, what do you want me to say? Miami couldn't do it. Jimmy tried. He gave you 2 good games, 35, 40-point triple-double. You got to win 4 games, though, and Miami just didn't have enough at this time to win 4 games against the Lakers. So, congrats to LeBron and the Lakers. What do you want me to say, man? Congratulations.
No, Ralph, I need you to say it properly. Congratulations to the Lakers and LeBron.
Absolutely. Congratulations to because you know what? The Lakers would not have won another championship without LeBron. So congratulations to LeBron.
That is correct. That is a very fair statement.
I like the way you
have to
think.
say the Lakers and LeBron because you got some Lakers fans and you got some LeBron fans.
This is his birthday, man. I'm gonna say the Lakers and LeBron.
Oh man, Daniel, my fellow Laker fan, man, what was your thoughts on last night's game?
Man, I just felt like, DJ Khaled, another one. I talked to my uncle Saturday, and we both said it was over Sunday. Jimmy Butler, he elevated this game. Like I said, this is a Jimmy Butler I've never seen. I don't like Jimmy Butler's game, but he elevated it. They just didn't have enough. After game 1, losing Bam, which I felt what they deemed Bam, I think he was a little overrated in my opinion. But they were just outmanned, man.
You said Bam was overrated?
Bam, he's overrated. He didn't show me nothing in that series.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, like I said, he made me look at him in a different realm. But Charles, what I got to make sure of my guy Charles, since we got him on, tape right now, put some respect on Caldwell Pope's name, man.
Absolutely.
Who?
KCP.
You heard it, KCP. Every time Charles says he's trash, he shows up.
He balled out last night.
Man, Charles, you got to give KCP some props, man. He did his thing the last 2 games, especially last 3 games, really.
Yes. Yeah. I will give KCP props. There's no question about it. He stepped up in areas that I never thought he was capable of. So yes, you're absolutely right. I will give him credit. I still think he's trash. But he stepped up and did what he needed to do and helped the team, win. I mean, nothing but respect to that, and I appreciate his efforts. Now we can go get rid of him and bring somebody else.
I think he's gonna stay.
I do think he's gonna stay. I think he's gonna stay for sure. I mean,
he's part of clutch.
Check his salary.
Well, KCP's make about 8 or 10. They can get somebody for that money, but
that's too much for him.
I mean, they got to tweak some things, but the way I looked at it, man, listen, it was inevitable. I mean, Jimmy Buckets gave them every single thing that they could handle. Actually, he gave them everything that he had. He did.
He did. Shout out to Jimmy Butler.
Strictly from a basketball perspective, they were outmatched. They were outclassed from day one. I mean, it just is. It was what it was. It is what it is. I mean, if the Lakers would have lost that series, that would have been one of the biggest upsets ever. Because
probably the biggest.
Because technically, what that showed was that the Lakers, they were just too dominant. They had nobody to deal with AD. They definitely had to deal with LeBron. Now if LA had shooters, if they had knockdown shooters, this series would have definitely been over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you give props to where it is. Miami came. They beat. What was that team? The Bucks. They beat the Bucks.
Bucks, Celtics.
They beat the Celtics. They did what they needed to do to get there. Hats off to them. It was just the better team, the more athletic team. They won. That's it. It was over. It was over before it began.
Yeah, I was talking to Ralph before everybody jumped on here. Is that last night you could tell they was locked in from the moment the ball went in the air. They weren't playing no games.
Yeah,
Um,
everybody.
I honestly, man, did not like the Black Mamba jerseys on Friday, man. I thought that was a bad look for the Lakers because I feel like that gave the Miami Heat extra motivation to be like, oh, they feel like they could close us out, like they just cool. So I think Miami gave everything they had in Game 5 on Friday, so they had nothing left to give on Game 6 yesterday. But
But I think it would have made sense if they came out and played the way they played yesterday in Game 5. That
man,
would have made sense with the.
it's just a sense of entitlement,
You
man.
got
We
to
got
get
this.
up
We're
for
gonna we're gonna
emotional,
close. Yeah, yeah, that too. And good point, Daniel, is that I think Friday the Miami Heat put all their physical and mental emotions into the game. So Sunday they had absolutely nothing left.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got to remember in a normal situation you get 2 days, 3 days when you flying in between cities. You playing every other day.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Right,
Butler
right.
ain't got it. Yeah, he ain't got his leg, so it ain't no way he could recover in one day. But man, listen here. Let me tell you about this guy. let me tell you. let me tell you about my guy. Guy that I know, man. This guy right here, first player with 3 Finals MVPs with 3 different franchises, man. Him and Jordan are the only 2 guys with 4 Finals MVPs, 4 regular season MVPs. I mean, if y'all want me to keep speaking on it, man, I'll just keep throwing up some more pictures like this thing right here. You know what I'm saying? And then for my other Lakers fans out there, Lakers championship to begin the decade. We won it in 2000, 2010, and 2020. And then right here, the picture of all pictures. Want me to throw that back up for you? I'll throw it up for you.
No, no,
Throw
no,
it
no,
up.
no. Only thing I need you to change is say we. Take that
we
off. We are.
we got 3
You only been a
championships in
Lakers
every
fan for 2
decade.
years.
Hey, that's not the point right now, Ralph. That's not the point. Okay, that's neither here nor there right now. And then we got the championship. You know what I'm saying? Picture right there, led by LeBron, AD, KCP down in the bottom right there. I don't even know why they got Kyle Kuzma on there, but that's neither here nor there at this point either. But man, we got a special guest, Ralph. I lied. Somebody want to hop on here real quick and kick it with the fellas. How you doing today, Gransberry?
Another LeBron
Happy
fan.
birthday, Q!
Well, thank you, much obliged. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you for the video as well. That was real
That was
dope.
dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
that was
Ralphie sold me out, but it's okay.
Vance. I'm right there with you. Ron, don't forget KCP. But Gransberry, since we got some of your time right now, what was your thoughts on last night's game?
It was everything. I mean,
Everything.
I think it was what everybody was complaining about, right? They wanted to see dominance, takeover. Where is this explosiveness? I think from jump ball, I think the Lakers knew if we go to Game 7, we in trouble.
Yes.
I don't care
Right.
who
Right.
we playing. And I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
just a fact. But unfortunately, I'd rather actually talk about Friday. I always like Jimmy, but I feel like I have even more respect for
Of
Jimmy
course. Of
after
course.
Friday because I mean, you battling a guy that's already on the court with 3 rings, and you battling him tit for tat, letting him
Mm-hmm.
know like I'm not giving you anything. I don't care what they say about you every day, what your followers think of you. On this court, the best man gonna win this game, and I think you can't want anything better than that in the finals. But I also knew it was over when I saw him in the press conference. I didn't
Yeah.
expect the Lakers to be that
Mm-hmm.
dominant in Game 6, but I definitely knew it was over because what people don't realize, and I think they saw it now, it takes a lot to go toe to toe every play, every possession with
Absolutely.
LeBron. His body, that's why people say they don't like him because they like that body. You should be just tearing everybody up every day, all night, instead
Right.
of like playing out with jump shots. He had to fight with Jimmy, and I think that was a display of it takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's what I said from the beginning. Show me somebody that can take him on like that 4 times and win. It's got to be more than one person. If he had one more Jimmy,
Oh yeah.
it'd be a
Oh,
wrap.
yeah.
Because
If he had one more Jimmy, we'd be talking about Game 7 tomorrow.
Yeah.
well, it'd be a wrap. Because I just think the young
If we have
quickness
one
of
more
it.
Jimmy, it'll be over.
That's what I was gonna say. It just the young quickness of it, because you got to remember. I mean, he's the oldest, but he the most agile of them all. So you can't have two Jimmys on the court. I don't care how many ads you have. So, but it's what I told y'all, that nobody wants to listen to me because they say I'm just an obsessor of LeBron, or maybe it's the female part, or a combination of both. I'm never gonna count out LeBron because he has a playoff mindset. That doesn't mean he's going to win every game. It doesn't mean he's going to be the highest scorer. But yesterday is a testament of who do you think they were listening to between game 5 and 6? LeBron and Rondo. Whichever one you like. When you have that kind of leadership on a team, and you're playing with guys who want to win a ring, it's a wrap. Jimmy had the leadership, but who's gonna tell him about the ring? Yeah. I mean, I know he had what's his name from the Warriors, but he a role player.
Too old.
He too old. Yeah, he too old.
I mean, they had Haslam too to try to help out and motivate, but
that's a mentor. But that ain't gonna. That's a mentor. But when you trying to
get a player coach.
Correct. But when you trying to get in that dog fight, you need to the guy who telling you that to also be standing next to you on the court. Mark Jackson made the joke about, he said sometimes you want to tell Rondo to shut up, but in reality, Rondo was that guy you needed. Because everybody don't relate to a LeBron, but Rondo was giving them the business about get your butt over there, play some more defense. I mean, they didn't just. And I like that the Heat didn't lay down and say at halftime we down, so we just gonna let them get this ring. But I don't know if you don't win a ring when you up by 30,
you don't deserve to win. Yeah, you don't deserve to win a ring. Man, well, first and foremost, my shirt right here is dedicated to LeBron James. Let's get that clear. Last year, he tore his groin, so he had to stay positive. He took a chance by coming to LA, and he kept going this year, and he was great this season. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's get to this.
I don't know if he took a chance. Let's be fair.
He took a chance because did nobody else come to LA with him. But anyways, let's get on to this. Let's see right here. Where is it at, man?
Just so y'all know, I ain't buying that, right? We know LeBron wasn't crazy.
Oh my God! Here this guy comes.
He knew he could get teammates to LA.
Here he goes.
My I hater hit list. I'm about to rattle off some names right here. Some people I want to holler at real quick while I got y'all attention. Oh yeah, it's my birthday. The Lakers won, so let's get on through this thing. My first name on this hit list, and I've already done checked your name, boy. So if you're tuning in, this one's for you. The first one is LaVelle Martin. Now, before the playoffs started, you was like, oh, if LeBron James gets swept, he might as well go ahead and go retirement. Well, let me ask you this right now, LaVelle. Where's the damn Chicago Bulls at? Because my guy went 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, and 4-2. So what's your guy doing right now with Chicago Bulls? So and every time LeBron James does something, LaVelle is the first one to post something. So LaVelle, you get my first high hater. Then my second one, Coach Bew and Justin Tull. Y'all told me LeBron is not a real Laker until he wins a championship. Well, I be goddamn it, he just done something last night, so I guess that makes him a real damn Laker right now, huh?
Did they really say that?
They really said that. They really told me that. They said he's not a real Laker unless he wins a championship. So he just won one last night. So y'all can go ahead and shut that shit up right down there. So anyways, let's keep this thing rolling right along. And this one right here, B, this excludes you, baby. This one ain't for you right here. This one is for Laker Nation. I'm about tired of y'all right about now. Y'all wanted the Lakers to win in spite of LeBron James so damn bad. Y'all wanted AD to be the Finals MVP so damn bad, so y'all can say, see, he's the one who carried the team. It was because of AD. AD was the reason why y'all won the championship. And also, y'all was the same ones that was crying, oh, we traded Lonzo, Brandon, we gave up too much for AD. There was too many players. That's our future. And then now look at us. We got a championship, and what the hell are the Pelicans doing?
Okay.
No, look. But anyways, but now what are the Pelicans doing? And then also, when LeBron James signed to come to the Lakers, well, he's going to ruin the franchise. He's going to take over. He's going to ruin us. We ain't going to never win. Now, look at us. We're at championship number 17. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. You're welcome. So anyway, moving right along right down the list. I got two names left. The last one is an oldie but a goodie, so just hang with me. Todd. I forgot your last name, boy, but Todd, you know who I'm talking to.
Oh,
Now,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Ty. Yeah, I forgot his name, but Ty.
Woo.
When the series started, AD led all scorers in game one, and you posted some in beyond the game, and you tagged me, and you said who was carrying who.
Mm.
Now, my guy LeBron James just got the Finals MVP, so I'm gonna ask you real quick one time for the city, my guy, who the hell is carrying who right about the goddamn now, huh? Answer me that. Who the hell is carrying who?
Only
And I don't
Beyonce.
even, I don't even want to put it a AD versus LeBron James, but you know what I'm saying. Everybody wanted the narrative of AD carrying LeBron, and I got tagged in so many posts and everything after AD led all scores in game one. But now you see who got the Finals MVP right now. Charles, come on back, baby. Come on back now. This last one,
Mm.
it's an oldie but a goodie.
Brought my guy back.
Mm.
Somebody on this panel right goddamn now
Oh man.
told me
Mm.
about a month ago the Lakers will never win with random players. The Lakers will never win with random players. The Lakers will never win because they.
Not up.
No. It wasn't him. The
Oh.
Lakers will never win because they ain't got no 3-point shooters. And I told this person, the
He must be
Lakers
talking
got
to Daniel.
the Lakers got Rondo, who's won a championship. They got JaVale McGee, who won a championship. They got Danny Green, who won a championship. They had Dwight Howard, who's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Baby, sit tight. And I try to tell him these are not just some random ass guys on the team, but these are the guys who have won championships, are battle tested, and fit LeBron James' team. Somebody told me, oh, well, you know, well, for the person who said the random guys, you told me the Clippers was gonna win it, so they got beat by Denver Nuggets. Who do they have a bunch of random guys? Do they have random guys on their team? But anyway, they told me also the Lakers will never win because they can't shoot the 3 ball. Well, entering the bubble, it was 22 teams. The Lakers shot 21st as far as 3-point percentage. As of yesterday, the finals, they was the 5th worst 3-point shooting percentage team, and they still won a title. Daniel Smith-Mello, do you want to comment, sir?
I knew
Yes,
it,
sir.
man.
Go ahead.
It's
Go
like
ahead.
last year when my boy, it's like when my boy Kawhi won. Hey man, they lost some stars game one, and that was the end of the series.
They lost one star.
If they
They
didn't
lost
lose
one
that,
star.
hey, nah, Bam missed 2 games. If that didn't happen, I would say that they were going to game 7.
Bam pulled up 28 and 12 last night, so I'm not trying to hear all that. I ain't trying to
Oh, I
hear
still
all
think he was
that.
overrated. I said he was overrated, but that helped, man. They didn't play healthy the whole season, the whole series. So.
And also,
And
Wait
well,
a
I'm not
minute.
the
Is
only
this
person
the same?
that was.
Is this?
I'm not the
No,
only
no.
person that felt a little bit of skepticism on the
No.
Lakers
You
now.
no.
On
I'm
this
not going there
Oh
with that.
panel.
no.
You
I
right.
picked the Clippers.
No. Daniel, we already know you're not the only one on that. You'll stand up for it, but you
Yeah.
ain't the only one who took it. The only thing I'm coming for you on is I can't believe you who always say you don't want to hear no LBJ excuses, secondary stuff about what happened in the past, and you got the nerve to just drop Kawhi in about some last year injury and use injury. Because if that's the case, the Warriors never got their first ring because LeBron's whole half of his starting 5 went out with injury and nobody cared. Everybody was like, you, because I'm gonna pull the comments if you try to tell me you didn't say it. You was like, it don't matter that y'all wanted him to win MVP and he didn't even win the tournament just because he was scoring over 30 points every night. Don't nobody care. He didn't win. If you didn't
Oh yeah,
win in the
y'all like to
finals, you
elevate
didn't
people when
win.
they lose.
So if
Yeah,
you
y'all do
didn't
that.
win in the finals, we don't care about your injuries. We don't care about how many people got
Right.
hurt. You lost. So the
Oh,
injury
man.
thing is like, it only matter at home with your girlfriend. Your girlfriend can pat you on your back, baby, about your injury. Because in the stat line, it don't say asterisk, this person was injured and out, this person was injured and out. It just say win and loss. Win.
The only thing about that is
Yes, sir.
it was it was his fans last year that was saying, "Well, Kawhi only won because
So
Clay
that
got
may
hurt,
be what
KD got
that
hurt."
may be what some of them
No,
said,
I
but
mean-
guess what Tasha's sticking with? Tasha's sticking with what you told her. The Gransberry deals with what's told to her.
You
I don't
part
have
of that,
nothing to
though.
do what
You part of
happened.
that
No.
fan base.
You don't claim nowhere that ain't touched me, so I don't know nothing about those folks. They don't
I'm
share
not
my
part of
DNA.
that fan base.
But So you and I were having a discussion. It was on this show. It was in this group on these comments. You gonna tell me about somebody else by sound? They can't even get in. No.
We ain't talked about this on the show.
We talked about this when I said LeBron is
about
going
Kawhi
to be
hurt?
better. Not the Kawhi. You talking about injury and what happened last year? Because I said, well, that's different for last year because LeBron was hurt. He didn't get a chance. And you start talking about he wasn't in the playoffs, though. I know who was in the playoffs. Paul George was in the playoffs.
Yeah, because the Lakers were horrible when he played.
They were not horrible when he played, and they were actually doing pretty good. They were doing pretty good when he was still playing. That's okay, because I'm really coming for that one up there in the top corner. Because you, when I tried to tell you about trying to discount playoff LeBron, you was like, oh yeah, I'm worried about they don't want to see, they don't want to have to see. Everything was they don't want to have to see.
That's right.
Everything.
But you're right. You are 100% right. But did I ever say they were going to lose?
I think that you did, bro. You was like, I don't know if they're going to win.
Ain't no way in the hell I ever did.
Melo.
Y'all know damn well I ain't never went against the Lakers.
See, that's why I'm
Melo. It's cute. He just be starting stuff.
No,
ain't no way
I said I don't know if they're going to win.
Ever.
I said it.
No, I mean,
but
that's okay. I don't think that that's anything to discredit you on because you said you didn't think they might win. That to me is not an issue. That's a discussion and that's a basketball topic. That's how it should go. The problem I think I have, and I have still to this day, is just the existence of LeBron. People would rather it be failure. We don't have to ever talk about GOATs. Like I said, I never even bring that up ever. I'm never like he the GOAT. Leave that to Q. This is his show. That's his thing. I'm dealing with what I'm looking at, and nobody. All of y'all said the best player on that team was AD, and you can run that tape back. And I said AD is the best skill, but the best player is LeBron because it takes skill, IQ, and leadership. Who has all three?
LeBron James.
And even if he would have, who has all three? And AD told y'all with his own mouth, but y'all didn't like that. He told y'all he needed that leadership and that push from LeBron, and that bothers people. What is wrong with people?
No, everybody. We all do that though. You can't learn how to win till you win, baby.
Exactly. So you need to make sure, Nephew Q, that you tell Kyle, since he was here today, because he's the main one, yakety from the back. That's what I really want to get. I don't really have no problem with Daniel. Daniel got his opinions, and he'll put them out there, and he'll stick with them. Kyle be in the running.
I'm putting the notes in.
Yeah, he yakety yak and don't talk back when he look a mess. And then B Legend, you should just kill the Oracle because you ain't figured out that part yet.
I done picked every series and I've been on the money for all of them. So
I said 6. You said 6 or 5?
I said 5.
Thank you. So you ain't on the money. You ain't on the money.
On this one,
I
went on money because they blew it because they didn't support your guy. Don't be trying to come at me, T.
So here's the fair thing about that. I think the best way to say that is, it's not that they didn't support the guy. Hold on.
In game 5.
Here's the other side to that. You want to say they didn't support the guy to get the win. The way I look at it is, Jimmy was in a game 7 and was determined not to lose. And sometimes when you playing somebody who's determined not to lose, that's the outcome.
Hey,
now that don't mean series-wise.
That was LeBron's best game of the series, game 5.
Because he had to play Jimmy's best game of the series.
All I'm saying is they battled. They was in that game regardless of what Jimmy did. He got them to where they needed to be. And all they had to do was make a shot that was wide open. Wide open.
Plus, AD didn't play his best game either.
But it went to your guy. It went to your guy, Danny Green, though. Not KCP, your guy, Danny Green.
It went to Q's guy, Danny.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He did. He got it. And I don't know what the hell he was looking at.
He pulled a JR.
He just put the damn ball out of bounds. He shit to
That's
the
sad that it's now the
playoffs.
JR. It's now the JR.
Every time somebody
That's-
makes a mistake.
I mean, that
That's
fool,
JR.
that fool, he gonna take his shirt off like he did something.
Hey, we was talking about that earlier.
Bro,
I mean,
why he always got to take
he
his shirt
just
off?
came in the he came in the
Because he
store.
already be hot. He
Absolutely.
need the game to be
He's
over
just there
with.
for the show. He don't care about the game.
Talking about it, I'm sweating. Woo.
Hey, LeBron like him because out of all the people they
Absolutely.
added to go to the bubble, they
Absolutely.
added JR. So that means
Every
that means he can deal with him. So he don't. Honestly, if he can deal with Kuzma, he can
Hey,
deal with JR.
come here, man. Come here. Hey, Tasha, somebody just peeked in. Man, can you slide through here?
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
man.
oh yeah, you came with treats.
Cupcake.
He brought you treats.
He bought me a birthday cupcake. Appreciate it.
That's sweet.
Tasha,
That's
Tasha,
nice.
Tasha has some words for you though.
Oh, what's
Hold
up?
on. I'll let you. Hold on.
Let me get in here.
Hey, Ralph, you my
What's up?
You my
I just
popcorn,
want to
dog.
keep it clear about you trying to say that AD was the best player on the Lakers when I told you that the best player was more than just athleticism. That it's true that at this point AD was the most skilled at the time, but the best player was still LeBron because it takes all three: leadership, IQ, and skill. Baby, that's still LeBron James. You gonna take that on home with you and you soak it up good and you try again next year, you hear? That's how they sing that song in LA. Yeah. Cause you ain't got nothing. You ain't
Cheering
got
for a
nothing.
team from Texas or something.
I never said a team.
The Rockets or something
didn't
like
even
that.
mention the team. Mentioned the player. And guess what? That's okay. Cause my home team lost to the champs, fool. So what we gonna be shamed for up in here? We lost to the champs. We ain't scrubbing.
I mean,
got to say?
what you got all that bass in your voice for?
Cause you ain't ready for an H-Town player, so you better
I'm
back
just
down
here.
like
I'm just
you
here to
can.
celebrate Q's birthday. I mean,
He said, "Why you so aggressive?"
Hey,
I mean, when LeBron go to Toronto, you're gonna cheer for the Raptors. Then when he go to
Yes,
Seattle,
they
you're gonna
are.
cheer for.
They
Then you're
are.
gonna cheer for
Right.
Portland. Then
You
you
better
gonna
read the
then he gonna
quote.
go
You
back to
better
Miami.
read.
You're gonna go back to Miami. Then he gonna go to
That's
Pacers.
right.
You're gonna be a Pacers
Hey,
fan.
it's
Then you
called
gonna go
a
to
marriage.
Dallas. You're gonna be a
It's called a
Mavericks
marriage.
fan.
Have you ever moved with your marriage? Do your
Yo,
marriage?
so I tell you.
Hey,
I
do
tell you
your
what,
marriage ever move?
LeBron is
Yeah.
still the best player in the world, and for anybody who thinks otherwise is tripping.
Yep.
I may have said some stuff just to get under people's skin, but it ain't no doubt in the world that LeBron is the best player. And he has
Absolutely.
been for about 15 and a half years, give
Yeah.
or take a little bit of time, you know.
Oh, so you just a mess
All right,
star.
now you're going
Okay.
too far now. He said 15
You
and a
being
half
a
years.
mess star.
At least 10.
Yeah, like 15 and a half, like give or take.
Nah, because Kobe was still doing all right round.
Yeah, because you got to add in there for 3 months. For 3 months, he was real good, and then sometimes people fell off. And if a month here or there, he was the best. So if you add up them
I
months
give
and stuff
him
like
10.
that,
I give him 10.
yeah.
Give him
I
about
mean,
7.
Oh, who wrong?
who was you gonna
He-
get to this before?
He's still number 2 or
I
number
think
3
he
on the
needs- I think
all-time
somebody
list
at
though.
least
But it's
10,
all good
Melo.
though.
Who's your top three?
My top 3.
Yeah, who's your top three?
Well, I kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Oh, you tweaked it. Okay.
Jordan is number 1.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. I had LeBron at 4. LeBron has jumped Magic Johnson now. He's number 3 on my list.
Okay.
Who's
Okay. So who's number
He
two?
said
number one?
MJ is number 1 on his.
Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan.
He said Jordan was number
Michael.
1. Yeah.
Jeffrey.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Kareem in number 2, and then LeBron comes in at a strong 2B because he's almost number 2 on my list.
Where's Will?
Almost. He's close.
Where's Will
Kareem
on
has
the
how
list?
many rings?
He's got plenty.
7?
No. Kareem's got 7.
Is it 6 or 7?
Who got 6? I think he's tied with Jordan with
I thought
6.
it was more than
I
Jordan.
think he has 6 with Jordan.
So
Okay.
Kareem and
He does
LeBron
have
are,
for MVP.
and LeBron, like statistically, they're gonna have the best like numbers, because longevity and things like that.
Yeah.
But for me, just looking at skill wise and stuff like that, I can't put LeBron ahead of Jordan. I just can't do it. That's just my
part I'm
personal
not even
opinion.
questioning. I just want
But
to know
I'm
who
a-
you had
Yeah.
it.
I'm just gonna.
I'm just curious. I told you this last night. Where's Bill Russell?
Bill Russell. You know, I'd have to go back and look at my list.
12, 13? What do you got?
Well, he's
But
not
I mean, that was
he's
half
not
the size of
LeBron.
the league, though. I just think it's a
No,
hard
that's
way to
what
go
it's,
to that set of numbers. I feel like we had a fair assessment when we add into the Kareems and Jordan, because the picture is the same. The only difference is Kobe and LeBron have the more alignment because they're high school pushing.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
easy to get some separation for those two. But everybody else has, regardless of era, they're playing the same style of setup of teams. It's like talking about a Super Bowl champion from, the 40s. It's like, okay, well, if you ain't competing but against the same 6 or 7 teams, eventually you do have a ton of championships.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
it's
really
it's
have
it's
to
like
compete
you're
that
hard.
talking
It's
much.
hard to get
information.
into a debate and talk about
What you
who's
say,
the
Mello?
best because it's from year to year
So
and
you
decade
sound
to
like you're
decade.
talking
It's
to a Big Blue
difficult.
Nation.
Here you go. I ain't
Yeah,
even
they
trying to
they
fight
talking
with
about
you.
I already
1943.
cut somebody out about that Big Blue Nation. Oh yeah, look at that Big Blue Nation representing in the finals. I'm like, they played 1 year for Kentucky. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, it
What
still puts
Kentucky?
them on the
I
map.
mean,
It still
yeah, I
matters.
mean,
It
yeah, I
still
mean,
matters.
that's the college that they played at. I
Kentucky
mean,
didn't
Yeah,
make
like
them.
you
They,
say.
they
that's
only
the
went there to
thing.
play because they couldn't go to the league.
Now, some of them, they got
Skip
better by
Bayless with the
going there that
Henny.
1 year, too,
Is
though.
That's what I said. Who is that?
Skip Bayless.
All right, well, I'll let you keep
Hey,
it.
I was
Oh,
working
okay.
on you.
Tell the wifey and the youngin I said thank you very much.
Hey man, who the hell is Skip Bayless with the Henny?
I
I
know.
don't know who that is. I don't know who it is, but
That's what I
I
said.
Probably
love.
Skip
Ike.
Bayless is
That's
tuning
probably
in.
Ike.
We lit.
I like that name though, man. I like that name. But man, we great. Going on to some football, man. We spent way too much time talking about Coach
Absolutely.
James.
Well, it was
So
your
let's.
birthday. We let you have Go James for your
I
birthday.
appreciate. You
And we
know
ain't got to
what?
hear about it no more
I
anyway.
appreciate
Basketball
that.
over. So.
Basketball,
Thank you.
basketball is over with. So let's move right on over to a little bit of NFL action, man. Russell Wilson had a crazy game last night against the Minnesota Vikings. He was 20 for 32, 217 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, and a comeback victory, 27-26 over the Vikings to put the Seattle Seahawks at 5-0. So, fellas, and lady, I have a question. If you had to pick one QB to win one game, who would it be? Ralph, go first.
Russell Wilson.
Damn, just that easy, huh?
It's that simple for me.
I'm gonna go Chuck last because I already know I got a feeling where he gonna go with this. Gransberry, who you got?
I'm going with Russell because he win.
That's two
Track
old
record,
Russell.
man. He has a track record, man.
Daniel, who you got?
I feel
Come
like
on,
the only
D.
option can be Tom Brady or Russell Wilson, man. So I'm
Tom
gonna go
Brady?
with
I'm shocked at that.
I
I'm
know. I
shocked.
expect Tom.
I wasn't even gonna say
6 out of
Tom
9
Brady.
Super Bowls.
I don't know.
But hold on, Daniel. This isn't prime Tom Brady. We talking about like today Tom Brady. So you gonna
Oh,
put
today?
your
Oh,
yeah.
no. Nah, he's almost
That's
done.
a
I'm
pick
gonna go with
six.
Russell Wilson
Pick
there.
six
And I was
guarantee.
just about to follow up and say, come on, Melo, you got to pick one and you got to pick today. Like
Yeah,
today.
today's
Because I
today's
feel
Tom
like he
Brady.
brought in Tom Brady. Like, I feel you on that. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a bad comment, but I mean, you got to
Mhm.
pick one and you got to pick today.
Yeah.
So you said Russell Wilson as well.
Yeah, today I'm
Okay.
going with Russell.
So
Russell
Wilson.
shout out to Melissa from Girl Chat Sports because that's
Mhm.
her QB and she wanted it to be clear that y'all sleeping on Russell.
Nah, never that.
No,
Well-
as a whole, like when they posted this question in the group.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hear what one behind got to say. Because his hat is one behind. He need a new hat.
Well, I
James-
got the 17.
James Earl.
It just happened last night, but I had to represent you. What you want me to do? I mean, come on, don't knock me like that. What?
So who you taking?
That's a tough one, man. It's really a tough one.
It
But
is.
it's between two guys.
Okay.
It's between the money man.
Rodgers and Mahomes. I already know with him.
You already know what
I
it is.
already know.
Hold on, Chuck. Hold on, Chuck. Chuck. Hold on, Chuck. Before you answer that, why don't you think Russell Wilson is a top 2 quarterback?
That's why.
I never said that he's not a top 3 quarterback.
Two.
2. I said 2.
I
2.
Aaron Rodgers.
What?
So.
Well,
I never said he wasn't the top 5.
this guy. But anyways, go ahead with your proceedings.
See, y'all taking it like I'm degrading him. You asked me.
We actually not. We just saying
No.
pick.
Just a
We
question.
saying pick.
Yeah,
man.
all right. And today,
Hey,
if I had
Sasha.
to do it
James Earl
today,
Jones.
if I had to pick a guy today,
Everything that the earth touches.
is Mahomes.
Mahomes.
I can't be
Wow.
mad at you, man.
I mean, I ain't mad at you.
You can't be
I
mad
just
at
think
that
Russell
pick,
got a
man.
little bit more. He got a little bit more.
He just proved it, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I think. I think the IQ of football is a little higher with Russell. If you need a play to go deep, then yeah, you would automatically say Mahomes. You know what I mean? If you need a quick play on thought process, I'm still gonna go with Russell because if you got to think about options and tight spots, just because he's had tighter spots with bigger moments.
Absolutely.
Mahomes had tight spots, but let's be real, the competition he's facing has the value of it at the time is not always in the same mindset, right?
Well, if we're gonna talk about IQ, then I'm gonna take Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you can take who you want.
You can take who you want.
I said, well, I'm doing it. If you need help trying to define your reasons, then take who you want.
If you can bring IQ into it, in big moments.
I'm sorry, you don't have the intellect to decide how you pick your quarterback?
No, I took him. I took him.
He left you an open-ended question. He said you picked the quarterback. You don't know why you picked him.
Girl.
I'm never a girl. I'm a woman when you talk to me.
Oh my goodness.
You're right, T. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mahomes. Madame.
For me, it's between two quarterbacks. It's between Wilson and Rodgers. I'm gonna go with Wilson. The only reason I go between those two is because out of those three, Mahomes, Rodgers, and Wilson, Wilson and Aaron Rodgers have proven to do more with less than Patrick Mahomes. It's not Patrick Mahomes' fault that he has weapons, but we don't know how good he can be if he can make players better like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson have. I know it wasn't no question, but I'm telling you the logic behind why I'm picking.
Logic, yes. You don't know how to follow. Wait.
Damn.
No, I mean I'm just debating with you.
Well, then what was the damn question? What did you hear? Because it said, what quarterback would you pick? Everybody picked the quarterback. Everybody picked a quarterback and told
I'm gonna go with Russell over Aaron just because Russell is a little bit more mobile than Aaron. Not to say Rodgers ain't mobile, but today, if a play breaks down, I would put more money on Russell Wilson making a correct play and getting out of harm's way than I would Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will probably just throw the ball away, but Russell Wilson will probably scramble, get you that first down. That get you closer to the first down to keep the drive going in case you needed a fourth quarter, drive or something like that. So that's who the quarterback I would go with. What was you about to say, Chuck? Feel like you was about to say something.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Okay.
Melo,
All right.
I got a question for Melo. So, because you would see Russell play more anyway, just because one, you keep up with the division a little closer, yeah, and then two, you would also probably see, to a certain extent, you might see Kansas City more than me because of the region that you're in, versus where we are. When you think about those two quarterbacks, do you think that what happened yesterday is going to become more consistent with the battles with the Chiefs versus what we see with Russell? Like, when we watched the game last night, we're trying to see what could Russell do to win. We're not thinking he can't win. But when we watch Mahomes lately, they've been in tight games with teams that kind of have you shocked, even though they are division games. We expect division games to be gritty, but it just seemed like a lot of careless mistakes were being made that they were depending on defense to have to bail them out to stay in the game. And so I noticed the same thing with the Chargers game too. I didn't get to see that one. But do you think that's a trend or how to plan? Because I think last year everybody thought the trend was keep them off the field and then beat them. Like, they wasn't trying to really beat them. That they were trying to beat them with long drives versus make Mahomes make mistakes type thing. Because that last interception was a straight up mistake. Like, they forced him into thinking, I'm going to throw the ball, and it was nothing but white jersey.
Yep.
I don't know
why he threw that ball.
I don't know why he threw that ball.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. I mean, like you said, I feel like Mahomes, when he plays, like, for instance, the Ravens, I feel like there might be a little bit of complacency where they already won the Super Bowl, but I feel like he's trying to keep them afloat. So there is no Super Bowl slump. Plus, they got Andy Reid making all that play calling. But yeah, year in and year out, no matter who the dominant team is in that AFC West division, those division games are always close. I mean, even like when Peyton Manning was playing throwing 50 touchdowns, they would still be close division games. And I just feel like I was kind of mad because I wanted the Seahawks to lose only because I wanted to be in that tie for first place or first place in the division. But uh, when Dalvin Cook went out, I knew what time it was when Dalvin Cook went out. But I still don't
Yeah,
understand the call. I don't understand why they didn't kick that field goal.
make no
That
sense,
just didn't
bro.
make
Got
any
to.
sense to me. I mean, I get it. You can run the clock out, but why not just take the points? Now they have to score and go for 2 points
Yep.
versus just giving the ball, giving the game up. So, but to answer your question, I do continue to see that. I continue to see close games from the Chiefs. I feel like they're not clicking like they were last year. I feel like they elevated their game against the Ravens, but something's not clicking. The defense is not playing bad. It's not like they're playing like the Seahawks defense or like they're playing like the Cowboys. It's just
Mm.
the
But they
consistency
still
in
gave up
moving the
40
chains and the
points.
consistency in scoring. Yeah,
I
yeah, they
just feel
did.
like
Well,
it's a lot of
they gave up
pressure.
about 30 something because one of them was the pick six,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I
Well,
think it's a lot of pressure,
yeah,
and
yeah.
part of the question that Q originally asked was what QB will we choose, and that's partly why I feel like a lot of us chose Russell was because of the IQ and the decision making in crucial moments. Russell wouldn't have made that throw that Patrick Mahomes made, and I feel like it's going to be a continuous trend too because I feel like the Belichick kind of showed the NFL something when the Patriots played them. I feel like if Cam Newton played in that game, that the Patriots would have won that game. I strongly feel that way. I feel like a lot of plays that were made by the quarterback the Patriots had just because he wasn't
he
that
wasn't
good.
ready. He
You know what
wasn't
I'm
that good
saying? If
already.
Cam was in, he would have made those plays. So I just feel like it's going to be a continuous trend because I feel like Mahomes, he does make a lot of mistakes, but it gets
But we sometimes
He,
call him
he takes a lot
magic.
of
yeah,
He
he
take a
takes a
lot
lot of
of
unnecessary
risks.
mess.
yeah,
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 Yeah, and
yeah,
we end up
and that's
calling them magic as
yep.
opposed to mistakes until it start
yeah.
catching
And
up,
we
and
just have
then
to
you.
remember that he's still young.
Hmm.
He's still growing. Like I said, Russell's proven. Russell's track record is there. Like
Yeah.
you know what he's going to do. We expect Russell to
Yeah,
figure
okay.
it out, and that's just part of it. I think it's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. He's still Mahomes. He's still Magic.
Oh yeah, he's still
A
that.
lot of
I didn't mean
Yeah.
it
Mahomes is
that way, but
50-50 ball,
Yeah,
yeah, I like
and
what
that
you
goes
said
one
though.
way or the other. So,
Cause when I did pick him for that game, when I thought it would be Cam, I said this game has two good quarterbacks, but I'm gonna pick a coach. And I got a
Mm.
coach that likes to call offensively,
absolutely.
strong minded, which is Andy. And then I got a coach that calls all three sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
Belichick is thinking how to beat you on special teams by putting the ball deep. He's thinking about defense to make you have short yardage on first downs. He's thinking all three parts. When we say Andy, we're thinking about play calling for
Yep.
offensive plays. And so I felt like even with Hoyer, other than the mistake he made before the first half and the fumble, he was in the red zone. He had Hoyer moving the ball. Hoyer was looking
Absolutely.
his best,
Absolutely.
but when you start making turnovers and the game is still winnable, then you have to make a move. But even when the rookie went in, it was like, okay, this dude is really still in the mindset of winning
Absolutely.
all three parts of the game. So I would love to see when they can get Cam back under center where they go. I mean, I always feel like they're a pain in my side as a in the AFC, but I'm still like I just like seeing that. Like
Yeah.
I like seeing because a lot of coaches do not coach to win on special teams, and that is one of the arts of Belichick. If you really like look back at it, he is a master at keeping balls deep on special teams when he's punting and also playing hard to get yardage. And that's I
Mm.
just think a lot of people sleep on that, especially
that's
when
why he
I'm
kept
looking at
Jackie
the
Slater so long,
Yeah.
just for
forever and
special
it
teams.
worked.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Mm.
I was just
Okay.
wondering because I know you guys see a little bit more of their games than we do. I would only see them if it's like a big matchup
Mm.
because that's not my region. So I'm gonna always get whoever's in AFC South playing elsewhere.
Mm.
Or
Russell's more consistent than Mahomes right now, in my
Absolutely.
opinion,
It's just
for the
he's
last
just,
two seasons.
like he's just been there long enough. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to playoffs, man. He's been there. Like he knows what to do, man. I mean, you got to give being a veteran in the league, you got to give him something, man. That counts for
That
something,
accounts for
man.
something. Yeah, that definitely counts for something, man. But yesterday, speaking of count for something, Dak Prescott suffered a gruesome injury in the game versus the Giants yesterday. He had surgery, he recovered 4 to 6 months. So yesterday, of course, he's on his franchise tag with the Dallas Cowboys. So was yesterday the last time we will see Dak Prescott in a Dallas Cowboys jersey? B, go ahead, you got this one.
Mm,
Hmm.
ooh, it's tough. Um, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that Jerry Jones then will sign him, or they would try to sign him. Um, no, I think they'll sign him. I think it'll be in the count. I think they'll make it happen. He'll
Yeah,
make it
make it
happen.
happen. Okay, Ralph, what you say? Dak Prescott played his last game as a Cowboy.
It's scary for me. I root for Dak. You know what I'm saying? I think I like Dak a lot more than everybody else here on this panel.
Not
So,
true. Don't
That's
ever
your
speak for
guy.
me. Remember,
yeah,
never speak for a woman. You
I'm
speaking on
sorry.
me.
I'm sorry, Tasha. You might be the only one, but everybody else has made it clear how they feel about Dak.
No,
but
no, no, Ralph. That's
nah,
not
don't do
fair.
it. Don't do it.
That's
You,
not
you don't
fair.
have no love for
I'm just saying
Dak. but I don't know. I felt bad for him. That's why, you kind of hate things like the franchise tag in football. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're going to get your money, but Dak deserved to have a long term contract. Um, it's hard for me to say that he should have signed the contract if he felt like he deserved more, if he felt like he wanted to bet on himself. Then, as a man, as a player, I guess that's what he had to do. But I feel like if the Cowboys do bring him back, they might end up franchising him again. Um, I really don't know at this moment. I really don't trust Jerry Jones. I really don't trust anything that Jerry Jones says or does. So I really don't know. I feel bad for Dak, honestly. But I'm just gonna say I'm up in the air. If you had to ask me now, I would say no.
I'm gonna let Gransbury and Daniel cook on this one too. Uh, I think it's all contingent on what Andy Dalton does for the rest of the season. If Andy Dalton can win them the division somehow, some way, it's gonna make Jerry take a second look and say, okay, yeah, we should bring Dak back, but why would we bring him back and franchise tag him possibly, or lowball him again and pay him based off his injury? It's going to be a back and forth negotiation. So I don't think they'll be able to come to terms on that because Jerry's going to say, well, you got injured. Well, Dak's going to say, well, you should have paid me before I got injured. So I need to get my money, a long-term structured contract. So if something ever happens again, I'm secure. So I don't think they'll be able to come to terms. And if Andy Dalton can lead them to some kind of respectability, maybe a division win, I think that he won't come back, and he'll end up playing for Tampa Bay. But Daniel, have we seen the last of Dak in the Cowboys
I
jersey?
was really listening too.
He slid that in there good. I give it on. Look, unless we know Q's already getting a little shaky on Tom Brady.
He
Oh,
knows.
I am. Oh, no, no, I admit it. No, I admit it. I am shaky on Tom Brady right now. I admit that. Yeah, I am. But go ahead, though.
Y'all lost to the Bears.
No, it's not the fact that we lost to the
Hold
Bears.
on, Q. Let's let Mello answer this one.
Okay, go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you, Charles. I'm
Don't
gonna
do
get your
that,
ass.
Charles.
I'm gonna get your ass. Go ahead, Daniel.
Uh, I'm like you though. I got to see what the Red Rocket does. I told everybody I don't think he's as bad as he just played for the Bengals. I mean, it's only certain players that can overcome a bad organization. So I personally like it because I got Michael Gallup on my fantasy team, and it seemed like you know who he was. But as soon as that got hurt, Andy Dalton was letting Gallup win the game. So, but personally, it just depends on what he does. He made that throw on the money. What was it? After he completed the tightrope first
On the
down, he
sideline
made
to
that throw for
Gallup.
about 40. Yeah, yeah, that one to Gallup. Then he threw a 45-yard one right on money, contested. So
Dropped
with
it in
the
the
that they
bucket.
have, I feel like almost any. Yeah, I feel like any decent quarterback can win the division. That type of offense. It's all depending on the defense. And with that being said, it's like the Cam thing. Cam's playing for like $2 million. Why would I go pay you 40 million when I can get the same results out of somebody for 3 million? So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll go elsewhere. He'll never get the money that he wants. It was tough to
Nah.
watch. I'm not a Dak fan, but just to know that he fought for that contract and then that happens to him, that's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
it
know. It was
sucks,
just tough
man.
to watch.
I hate that for Dak, man. I really do. But Gransberry, go ahead. Was yesterday the last time we will see Dak in the Cowboys jersey?
No, I don't. I'm like Ralph. I don't like saying things when we don't have enough data to work with. I do think that Red Riding Hood will have an effect on that was our nickname with them because we was always we the ones that killed all their playoff dreams every time they got the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, my point in saying that is we don't know what Andy will do to give them leverage to make a different decision about Dak. I don't think a division is enough. Dak already got you division wins. Dak already had you the number one seed.
Absolutely.
So until you do a little bit more, if Andy gets them midway and ruins any opportunity at them having a shot at a top quarterback for the next draft, at that point you wasting your time with signing Andy because he's more on the back half than Dak with a rebuilt ankle. Science is not what it was. Had this happened maybe 12, 14 years ago, then you'd be like, oh yeah, he gonna hold a clipboard, but he won't be in a uniform. But I also think there's a lot of pressure, and as much as Jerry is a businessman and a very good one and a rich one, the business side of him is seeing that fans are not feeling that your star quarterback went out hurt on a franchise tag,
Absolutely.
trying to win a game,
Absolutely.
giving you almost 500 yards a week on the field, like
The most that they've
that's-
seen.
but you gave the running back 80 million and you ain't getting nothing out of 80 million to make your QB not have to throw that much. And
Absolutely.
and that's not just this season. That was last season too.
Absolutely.
They had the
Talk about
top
it.
yard. So, and I hate the whole whisperish stuff. Like we don't know what Dak's contract offer was. I do think that he probably was doing the wait and see game because he felt like he should be somewhere around Wentz. Because at the point of what it was worth, he had done just as much as him to get a deal. But I think if Andy don't do enough, you gotta give Dak your shot. Because if Andy do too much that don't get you a better draft option, who's your quarterback next year? You just gonna do it because you're gonna take a mediocre. I don't see Dallas at this point ever taking mediocre at quarterback to be their starting quarterback intentionally. I mean, look how he caved to the pressure actually of Dak. He caved and let Romo retire over giving him back a starting position. That guy had been solid for you, had proven he could get you in the playoffs, everything. Dak hadn't even won a whole season and he benched him for Dak.
Yeah.
So I just think if you can't do more than that, you got to go back to Dak. I mean, it's an ankle injury. It's not a shoulder injury. If we giving shoulder injuries start over, hell, Sam Bradford got a new deal after that old messed up shoulder he had.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
They like my guy, man.
oh God, don't you start with me about your guys. Don't you start, because I'm not. It's just money, and I know it's different teams, but I mean, you can get a rebuilt ankle. Do y'all even remember OBJ ankle being broke? It's like an afterthought.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He had a compound fracture though, so that was.
That's true. I mean, he might be a pocket passer. So I mean, he just might not be as mobile. But if you can sit back there and launch it, if we can let a 44, how old is your QB?
43.
He'll be 44 for the season over. If we can let a 44-year-old stand back there and launch it and lose to the Bears, then we definitely can let Dak stand back there.
Why we gotta keep bringing that up? What?
Since we talking about it, since everybody got their point across, how did y'all lose to the Birds?
Because they should not have beat the Chargers. It was the Chargers. That's why they won. They played 2 bad weeks of football. They came back because it was the Chargers.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another show Beyond the Game.
It's your birthday.
I will not accept this slander on my birthday today. But You can't use the injury excuse because everybody at this point in time, man, all teams are suffering from some kind of injury, whether it be role players or major stars. So they can't get.
Hey, his quarterback got dementia. He ain't even know when down it was.
He
Hey, we're
don't.
not gonna. Hey, don't
He
use
said,
that
he
term. No,
said,
no, don't use that term. Don't use that
But
term.
hold on. But before we get to this next layer topic, real quick, B, I gotta ask you: are the Las Vegas Raiders trash? Because they beat your Kansas City Chiefs the
They
other day. So,
sure
are
did.
the,
They
so,
sure did. See,
so is the Kansas City Chiefs trash?
First of all, let's get it straight. I'm a Mahomes guy, but the Kansas City Chiefs, still rolling high on that Super Bowl. That's why they got their butt whooped.
Oh, that's what that was. Oh, okay.
And they deserved it. They
Oh,
deserved it.
okay.
They
We,
didn't
we
play
was
a good game. They should have lost to the Chargers in
absolutely.
game two.
I say that.
So
They
let's just
should have
call
lost.
a spade a spade. They
They
didn't
they
so.
play
got that.
well.
They got that third down. That's what got them.
Yeah, Mahomes did not play well,
Yeah.
and they deserve to lose.
Well, Tasha Gransberry, they got their third down. Unfortunately, we didn't get our third down or our damn fourth down. Hell, Tom Brady wanted a fifth down. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Last topic, quick hitter. Jimmy G, Chris Jones, shout out to him, man. 49ers got smashed yesterday, 43-17 by the Miami Dolphins. Jimmy G got pulled from the game yesterday as he was 7 for 17, 77 yards, 2 interceptions. They put in both of the backup, Nick Mullins and C.J. Betherford. So I got to ask you guys, have the San Francisco 49ers lost faith in Jimmy G? Daniel, go ahead.
Whew. I tried to tell him about what did he call him? Jimmy Guap.
Jimmy Guba.
Get out of here.
Trying to tell him
Jimmy
you don't
Guba.
Should have let Belichick keep.
That's what he called him, and not me, man. But yeah, man. No, I think they. I don't think they have just because he's coming back off injury. I think they'll give him a couple more shots, but bro, that you can see the fact that they had him in the Super Bowl. They didn't even really want to throw the ball when they needed to throw the ball.
Absolutely.
So I don't really think they trust him that much. You see, anybody that doesn't really trust their quarterback, they try to run the ball 40 times a game and only let their quarterback throw about 20 times, and that's where they're at with him. So
Cleveland.
Yep.
You said Cleveland.
Yep.
yeah,
All right, Gransberry, since you brought up the
they figured
Cleveland
out we
point.
can just run the ball 40.
I
They look
mean,
good.
we're not gonna get on quarterbacks with the last name G, but we're gonna stay with Jimmy G. I said that a long time ago. Chris still mad at me about that. I told
guy
him
was good,
that was all a fluke. Well, yeah, your guy's good. I never said he wasn't good. I just said that y'all wasn't gonna win the division. And I still believe that, unfortunately. But the bigger issue is Jimmy is he not in that class, and I said it, and unfortunately it's a bad comparison because we had that conversation about you was like, well, Goff's been to the Super Bowl. Goff went to the Super Bowl with a complete team. Jimmy G went to the Super Bowl with a run game and a defense, not because he was the quarterback.
Absolutely.
Not because he was the quarterback. And people buy into that, and those 49ers diehard faithfuls, they need to really look at what's going on the field. Y'all bought into hype of Belichick. I ran it down. I said he played a few games while Brady was out, right? He gets traded. That's fine. You take a shot. You're trying to get started. I told y'all who he beat. He beat the Rams with half the team on the bench because they already knew that they were going to rest up for the playoffs. And he beat the AFC South, who two of the starting quarterbacks were already out and injured for the year. He blew them out because they were playing backup quarterbacks. If that's what gets a guy a high-paying check, please call Jerry Jones and give Dak a check from the hospital room, because he didn't do anything to earn the money or the position. So now they paying for it. And who's developing him? Because
nobody.
Exactly, because he looked the same. He looked the same.
And he got no better.
And he's trying to cover.
We paying Jimmy based off of Belichick then.
You said what? What you say, Melo? What you say, Melo? He did what last year?
I said he made some plays throughout this. He made some big plays throughout the season last year, but he didn't get paid based off Bill Belichick. I mean,
but how do we remember most games?
Defense and run game.
Remember the defense and the run game. I mean, especially.
Well, I watch almost all the games. That's my division.
Right.
So.
Right. You still think that they should be believing in him? I didn't hear your last part, Daniel.
I mean, unfortunately, he beat us on. I said, well, it's my division, so I watch a lot of the games. I said, unfortunately, I can remember 2 and like 4th and forevers, 3rd and forevers that he converted on us. So he can make some plays, but he did get paid off. Bill Belichick. No, this was last year.
No, he
We
said
played
last
them.
year. He said
We
last
played
year.
them Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
played them
I'll
Sunday, but
look
yeah.
at that game because it's a division game and see. But I mean, his coach was covering for him. He said because he was getting sacked so much and stuff like that, he didn't want him to pretty much get re-injured. So he figured it was best to change out. And so I'm like, okay, so you got a barely functional QB, and then you're gonna put in your backup QB because you want him to get sacked. Like that
It made no sense.
that logic that
It
he
made no.
gave didn't make sense. So either you were struggling with your faith in him, or you don't know what to do right now.
I think.
Because, tell me what you think.
I just think, honestly, he's been lost faith in him. I think Shanahan has been around the game for a very long time, and I feel like you seen in the Super Bowl last year, as Daniel said, how much faith he had in him. How many passes total did Garoppolo throw in that Super Bowl last year? Like, he was scared to throw the ball. He was scared to put the ball in his hands for him to make a mistake or make a bad play. So, for me, I think Shanahan lost faith in him last season. I think that they paid him a certain contract, so Shanahan has to go with what they have.
Is this the last year guaranteed money? Do Chris know?
I mean,
He probably does.
he had all that money and didn't have no faith in him.
He didn't pay him.
Who didn't pay him?
Let me see.
I'm saying
when you
Shanahan
put a
lost faith
quarterback
in him.
with
If y'all
Shanahan.
want to say 49ers as an organization, if y'all want to go with GM and everybody else, then I guess you could say Lynch has faith in him. But for me personally,
John
I
Lynch.
think Shanahan lost faith in him a long time ago.
So what about you? What's your thoughts on that, B?
I mean, I think when they're gonna play him, I don't think they're gonna sit. They're paying too much money to sit him. I think they're gonna play him.
His contract goes out in 2023. But go ahead, B.
Yeah, I think they're gonna play him. I mean, I think at this point, I think this season is on the cusp of being a wash anyway. But I think they're gonna play him. They're just paying too much money to just sit him on the bench. You got to play him.
Oh, this is the last year they got to play him though, because next year he don't.
I mean, he just hasn't proven nothing
He only has
in the
dead
league.
cap
Like, he
space
hasn't
next
proven
year.
anything. Like,
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Right? He ain't proven anything. My point is, when you got a guy on your bench that's making that type of money,
yeah.
And he's healthy, you got to play him.
But
Yeah, this is the last
being
year
stuck with
20
somebody and having faith
guaranteed,
in
though.
somebody's two
Okay.
It's two
different
different
things.
things.
So
Okay.
that's why I think
You're right. It is
stuck with
different.
him
But what
and
I'm
they
saying
have
is,
faith
you
in
just
him.
play him and you just run the shit out of the ball.
Well, we'll know next year.
Yeah.
We'll know next year.
Yeah, you know next year
This
for
is
sure.
this is the last year that they got to give him that whole deal. Because next year he don't even take a hit on. They don't take a hit on the cap for him.
Oh,
They got to look.
It's like
They gotta
28.
look
It's like
around.
2.8 million. So in this year the
His
hit
body.
is almost 20 million. So that's
oh,
a
well,
huge difference.
Well,
That's all. Hey,
Dak can fill it.
I was about to say the same thing. Dak's out there. Send Dak to San Francisco.
Yeah,
I mean, get you a
Yep.
plug gear. I mean, if you're gonna take a plug gear for it, but I mean, but the other ocean gonna be fighting for him because Tampa Bay gonna need somebody.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. We go ahead and sign him.
Hey, T, they brought Tom Brady over. Q got all happy, talking about they gonna win the Super Bowl and all this. See, they trash.
We ain't trash.
No Super Bowl.
Hey, that I'm not really on that.
I am.
I still no, because I still said my team was gonna win the division. I don't know how the hell we was. Oh, I know how, but I mean, I said my coach sucked, but
Hey,
it's really
Tasha.
worse.
I'm glad y'all finally got rid of that guy. It's been a long time. Y'all should have got rid of him a long time ago.
Tried to
honestly.
tell y'all, man.
Mello, no, we was on the same page about the coach. You start
Yeah.
talking about talent. You said you didn't trust it because of that, but we had been winning because of that.
Yeah.
That's so
I
it's
picked the
hard
Colts
to
to
go
win
the
the
other way.
division. I picked the Colts.
I
Y'all
did
thought I
too.
was crazy when I picked the Colts.
No,
I did
I
too.
said I
Yeah.
would have gave you more respect for picking the Titans, but not no Colts with Rivers. And I said that. I said,
No.
what Rivers y'all been watching?
He acting like Brady out there.
No, he acting like
No,
Rivers.
no, no. But look,
Watch your mouth, Ralph.
But I
Watch your
think you
mouth.
said because of coaching, right? No, you said
She's
because of
right.
coaching
No,
and run game.
I said the defense in the run game.
Yeah, I knew you
The
said
defense
run
is
game.
like top 2 in the NFL right now. Yeah.
They did the Colts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they played the
Yeah.
bottom 4 teams.
Yeah, they ain't playing nobody.
They ain't played
The
nobody.
Browns are good. Browns is good.
And the Browns went
The
ahead
Browns
and
got
did
a
what
good
to
run
him?
game. The Browns got a good run game.
Hey, T, let me ask you this
But you
question.
only as good as your record. So they records say they good. So in that defense, they good. But I would have said the Titans over the Colts because
That's what
I
I
don't have
said.
that
I
faith
said the
in the
Titans.
River.
Titans can't get past COVID. Shit, they might not play no more.
Well,
Exactly.
we play them next week. So time out on the COVID. Time out on the
Hey,
COVID.
so you think y'all play them next week? It'll be another
Exactly.
week out.
Hey, Todd, let me ask you a question. If they didn't have O'Brien, let's say they got rid of O'Brien last year sometime, do you think Houston would have made that trade and got rid of
Well,
Absolutely
that
not.
wasn't. Well, no, because that wasn't a Houston trade.
It was
Let me
O'Brien.
let me tell you something. That was an O'Brien trade. The other problem is what I think people
He was
forget
getting
a
into it
lot of
with
times.
JJ Watt, wasn't he?
Huh?
I meant to ask you. He was getting into it with JJ Watt too, wasn't he?
The
This year.
coach. Yep.
This
Yeah.
year, yeah. So my only point about the trade thing is people forget the ownership that Bob was an oil man. I mean, most owners are not this type of business anyway, but he was an oil man. I mean, at least with Jerry, he was a college athlete on a football team. You know what I'm saying? But when you're trying to run a business, you just run a business and you put people in place. So what he did was he just gave the reins
To
to
O'Brien.
a quote unquote smart football man, right?
Mhm.
And people forget about your surroundings, right? If you grow up and you wealthy most of your adult life and you dealing with only wealthy people, you think wealthy people think wealthy people know what they doing unless they're trying to outsmart you for your money. So in their mind, this guy is a graduate of Brown University. He's a smart guy. He worked under Belichick. I should let him run it. And people forget the last couple of years what was going on in Houston. The owner was dying. The family wasn't focused on running the football team. They gave everything to OB to run. They
Absolutely.
looking at the number and the money. So if
Oh,
your
big
season
time.
tickets stay sold out,
Yep.
your concession stands making their money,
Yep.
the rodeo is the highest paid rodeo in the country. You think they was really looking at who fighting with OB in the locker room? Oh,
Nope.
that's just a little young bunch of little young dudes that can't get along with their coach.
As
They'll
long as
get
that
over it.
cash keep flowing, keep it going.
And they getting paid, so deal with them and get over it, right?
For real.
But when your powerhouse does a move like that, I still say I'm okay with it. But when you make a move like that, and you don't have to discuss it with anybody, but now you got people making phone calls to you and you can't answer for it, then that's when it starts to look bad. So now you need it to look right. And that's the same thing that happened to Kubiak. They don't talk about it much, but they was considering taking your boy Manning at the time, right? That was going to be a solid deal. Manning wanted to live in Houston. Their family was Louisiana. This was like the best place to move to for him. All of a sudden, Kubiak gets cold feet and don't want to sign off on it because he believes in his Matt Schaub because he brought Matt Schaub here.
Matt
And he don't
Schaub.
want to give up on Matt Schaub, right? They let him sink that season and they fired his butt before we even got back from Jacksonville on that plane.
Yep.
And that was because he promised them, I can still do this with who I said we need. And when you start selling promises you can't deliver on,
Yep.
just depend on how short your rope is.
Yep.
People mad now because they said they're going to hire a search team. If they don't know how to run a football team, they got to hire somebody.
I just felt like the D Hop move was like it was like I don't know, it was
Personal.
big for me.
It
Yeah,
was
I
personal.
he didn't need to leave Houston. Man. He should have stayed.
Well,
in
the
Houston,
owner got
man.
on the radio and he said that it was still about the Rays, and then Hop tweeted out,
It was
I
never
asked,
about that.
well, no, he didn't say that. He said, I didn't ask for what they asked. I just asked for a little bit more money. So he still asked for money. But, I mean, do we really have to give you money when you got 3 years left?
So, based upon that thought process, I mean, does that mean Bruce Arians gonna lose his job? Because Tampa's trash.
Hell, how the hell we get back to Tampa? What the hell Tampa got to do with anything? God
It's your
damn.
birthday, Q. I got a bad.
Well, we gonna leave it right there. But we gonna leave it right there, man.
But
Bruce Arians
I
ain't
got one serious question for y'all.
what?
I asked T this earlier, but I'm gonna ask you guys. So who do you guys think? What do you think they're gonna do with the Clippers? Who do you think gonna coach the Clippers?
Oh, that's Ty Lue. That's his job to lose.
I don't get it, man. Because for me, Ty Lue hasn't proven anything. He had LeBron
Same thing.
James. I'm done.
I don't know
What?
how good of a
I'm
coach
done.
he is.
Charles, what did I
No
tell you
way.
everybody was going to say? Y'all said exactly what I told them because he said, Well, what's the hold up on why nobody will take Ty? I said he is in the downfall of coaching LeBron because
Absolutely.
nobody believes that he had to do anything.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Even though Vogel is in LA, we know Vogel was coaching. Like even with LeBron, you
Yeah,
can
he's a
see it in
good
the
coach.
bubble. He's a
Okay.
good coach. I
Okay.
mean, and plus in the bubble, you can focus more because there's nobody there but the players. You can see him and Kid making changes between quarters and plays and
I get that.
timeouts
Okay.
to actively be like, we need to switch up something. You know he
We
saw
saw him
something.
in
If he,
Indy.
Yeah, but
He
that's
well,
why I
was a
said
good
okay,
he
coach.
actually
okay,
coached a
yeah,
different team, Indy and
yeah,
Orlando, so
yeah.
he's got to prove
But
his
I'm
record.
saying
But
coaching with LeBron after LeBron, it won't be like he won't get a coaching job. Is my point.
I would rather
Nah,
go with Mark Jackson than Tyronn
Lou
Lue.
Lou is a byproduct of a team that was already the
Absolutely,
number one
man.
seed before
Come
he
on.
even got the head coach job. Remember they fired the coach and
They
they was
black.
yeah.
winning. They were
Mm-hmm.
winning. So you knew it was personal.
Mm-hmm.
They
Brian
were
Daniels got his
winning.
ass on up out of there.
So who coaches Houston?
That's still weird to me. I don't know what we doing.
Because
But
what do you do with
Well,
Russell and James? That's my issue.
I
Yeah,
would
That's the
like to see
wasn't
my
thing.
guy leave for real.
wasn't Kenny Atkinson coming down there for an interview or something
Oh
like that?
my
The former
god.
Nets coach.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah, they were looking at the former Brooklyn Nets coach to come down there and interview for the job as well.
Yeah, going down there.
They just keep hiring the wrong coaches.
That's what I'm saying. It
They
just makes
hired
no
Kevin
sense,
McHale.
man. It
Now they
makes no
hired
sense.
him. I was
Somebody said
like,
they
why?
were re-interested in Gundy. They wanted to see what he wanted to do.
I heard that, but I also
I
I'd
heard
like
rather take Stan over the other options.
I heard Gundy out for the Clippers too.
Well, the difference is with
I like
Gundy in
Gundy in
Houston is
Houston.
he likes
I like that.
Houston,
Yeah,
and
he
it wasn't a bad fit the last time he was here to the point where he never left. You know, he lives here.
Mm.
His family liked it, everything. So
What about let me throw this out here
He's
to
what James
Greensbury
Harden
and
needs.
Daniel. What about Kenny Smith?
Ah, hell
I
no.
don't understand. They're not gonna get him a head coach job though. He's not gonna get no Steve
It's
Nash
just not
treatment.
proven, man.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just
not gonna get the Steve Nash
You don't have to be
because
though.
he don't have
Steve
to
Nash
be.
ain't proven.
But it's
I
connections,
said he's not
brother.
gonna get the Steve Nash treatment.
No, I was talking to Ralph. Ralph was saying he's not proven. I'm
Steve
saying
Nash
was
is more about connections. We already know why he got that job.
Yeah.
You just connected
Steve
with the
Smith's
right
definitely
people.
smart. He knows the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, they gonna make him take a lower level position first, and I just think for him,
Yeah.
he gonna sit behind that studio before he do that.
Yeah.
He want an executive position or head coach.
Maybe like
Other than
Chauncey
that,
or something. I'd rather say Chauncey because he's at least out there trying to, you know what I'm saying, get into the coaching realm. But I just don't feel
I like
I don't
Van
feel like-
Gundy. I think Van Gundy is what James Harden needs.
I,
think
I,
that's something that he needs.
before
you
we
got
close this
Russell
out.
and Westbrook.
That's what I think is the holdup. Is everybody's
Yeah.
the coaches who are in consideration is looking at this roster and saying, well, there's not much there. You got Russell and Harden, and then what else? And then you don't have the cap space to do anything. You don't have any real trade assets. You don't have any guys that people would trade for. So then you're sitting there like, okay, I got Russ and Harden, but then what else do I have? You have a small lineup, and the only person who can coach that lineup is Mike D'Antoni. Nobody else can coach that type of lineup.
I hate
So
you.
They
You gotta
got
get Eric
Go
Gordon
ahead,
out of there.
Go ahead.
And it's your
Get it back.
birthday, but you know, we got to get it all in for your
He's the one
birthday.
coach
That's great.
I am not a fan of. I
Like
don't
you
know how
know,
he
I've been
continues to get
saying
the
that
job.
they messed
I'm
up
not
when
a
they
fan
didn't
of him at
make
all.
that trade for Anthony Davis, man.
Q, they done made some it's been some good topics today. The last one I think that Charles had, I still think we gotta hit it. He said, do you think somehow the Lakers get Chris Paul? And do you agree with that move, Melo, if they do?
But how much money is Chris Paul gonna have to give up?
Well,
in
the
order
only
for
way
them
it
to get
happens,
there?
he in a buyout. I don't
He
think
has
he's
to-
gonna
yeah.
get
give
traded.
up money.
You gotta
he
give
has to
up money.
to give up money, but how much is he willing to cut? Because you're gonna have to cut something. Okay, I think he's scheduled to get 44 million this year. So him and Sam Presti, they're gonna have to come to a number. It's gonna be between 35 and 40. I don't see Chris Paul taking no less than 35 to
Well,
get
my
up
But
out of
then he
there.
can pick up the rest from the Lakers with a 1-2 year deal, huh?
And
Yeah, that's true.
He might as well take a pay cut. I feel like he's made enough money. I mean,
Well,
he has
he's-
State Farm commercials. I
He's
feel
gonna take a pay cut.
He wants a chip. So
Unless he gets traded somewhere, he's gonna take a pay cut because no team is gonna try to throw him 35, 40 million dollars. So
Who
he's
can
gonna take
take
a pay
him
cut.
40? So you saying no team gonna throw it to him, but team that trade for him got to pay the whole deal. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks is the only
I
team
didn't.
that
That's
had.
why I said Milwaukee. I see him fitting pretty good with Milwaukee.
Okay.
I could see him working pretty good with Philly.
I
Oh, with
think he
Doc,
would.
you think he'll go
He
back to
would.
Doc?
No, I don't
I,
like
I,
That's the
I
only
think
problem. But
I
I
think
think
he'll
we're
go
going.
back to Doc. I think Blake Griffin was the problem. I don't think Doc was the problem.
Yeah.
But he's a pick and roll type of point guard, so I don't feel like him and Embiid in the pick and roll. Embiid's
Not
not really.
Embiid.
He's not
Ben
really an
Simmons.
alley oop type of
Ben
like
Simmons.
a big man.
Ben
I don't
Simmons
know,
need the
man.
ball in his hand though.
Yeah, Ben Simmons got to go to me. It's
For
either
what? He
Embiid or
can't
Ben Simmons.
shoot. He can't
No way
shoot.
gonna score.
Well, to your point, Rap, that's not true because he didn't have a pick and roll big man with the Thunder, and they made it all the way to the 4 seed. So if you get Embiid in the pick and roll, who knows what he can do with that?
But I feel like the Thunder at least has shooters. Who's the shooter on the?
Well, that's
Sixers?
true too. That's
I mean,
true.
what
I
about the
think we can
Clippers?
run pick and roll with
What
Simmons.
about him going back to the Clippers?
No.
Nah, I don't
They
see
Where
need
they
that.
that.
gonna get the
They
money
do need
from?
that, but they ain't got no money
I
for
mean,
it.
he got to listen. He got to take a pay cut regardless.
But okay, so if
He'd be
he
better
goes to the
off going
Clippers,
Lakers. He'd be
Even
Who
if he
are the
goes to
Clippers?
Lakers, he gonna make minimum money.
but who are the Clippers gonna give up that the Thunder won't if they make that trade?
They're not gonna make a trade. They're gonna buy him out. Nobody's
So
gonna pay. Nobody's gonna make
You
a
can definitely
trade.
get Whittle too.
Pay 85%
Heck yeah.
of his salary. They got to include 80 to 85% of assets
Oh.
in the deal to make it work. Nobody's gonna do that.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna have to take a cut. He has to take.
I don't think it's gonna work with the Clippers just based on he's seen how the Clippers collapsed against the Denver Nuggets, and he probably don't want to be a part of none of that because they have a lot of chemistry issues.
Because they ain't had no leadership.
They were
Absolutely.
missing a Chris Paul type player.
Paul George is the leader.
Yeah, he's the leader. Okay.
Paul George is the leader.
If they had
Pandemic
Rondo, they would
thing.
have been straight. They need somebody to contribute, man.
Kawhi was the leader.
I struggle with seeing them going to the Lakers just because I don't see how, him and Rondo would exist. They have to man up.
Somebody gotta
That's
go.
true. That's
Rondo's going to the Clippers. Chris Paul come to the Lakers.
Oh man.
Nah, I think LeBron won't go. LeBron won't go on
So
that
I
team.
want to know.
I think he
did
wants
Rondo-
Paul a little bit
did
more.
Rondo
I agree with
really
that.
say
I agree with that, Charles.
Did Rondo really say that clip?
What?
What clip?
Oh, maybe not. Then if y'all ain't heard it, then I'll look more
Recently
into it.
or the
I don't wanna
old one?
repeat it.
That's what I'm saying. What happened?
The old one last year, or you talking
Yeah,
about?
last year. What did he say? Did he say
I
that?
can't remember the exact words, but I think it's real though.
Oh, okay.
About
What?
what?
That's what I'm
Was it
saying. That was
somebody on the Clippers team?
No, about Chris Paul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was legit from my understanding.
He said.
I mean, it's been known they don't like each other from the
Yeah.
quote unquote spit gate where Rondo allegedly spit on Chris Paul and all that. So but what did he
He
Had
say?
went
that
the
fight
whole-
on the court.
Yeah, he went on like a whole behind the scenes little rant about Chris Paul though.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Rondo's a little bit touched, man. So
Well, not even that. A lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot of, but players who have played with Chris Paul have said he's different. Like if you don't get his type of personality, you'll end up hating. And this was on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes was like, if you don't get Chris Paul's personality, you're gonna end up hating him. So a lot of players probably really don't like Chris Paul.
kind of like the
But-
Kobe effect, man. I mean, a lot
Well,
of
people
players
said
didn't
they
like
don't.
Kobe.
They said people don't like LBJ, but AD you said trade me there. So I mean,
Oh, that's because.
I think that's fair. I think there's a lot of players other players don't like. It just is what it is.
You're
Everybody
right.
got clicks. I mean,
You're right.
everybody got clicks. I just think a lot of it just comes down to when you know what works for you. I mean,
You're right.
You
'Cause
just
you-
got to know what works for you, because I think that's what it came down to. I think probably if they would have thought about it longer, they would have kept Ingram. But at the time, they was keeping what was working.
I know.
Well,
Because
nobody
Kuzma
wanted-
is trash.
people wanted
We want to talk
Ingram
about
over-
trash.
Okay,
he's outta here.
Kuzma is trash.
He's out of here. Don't worry about it.
Like, what does he do out there? It's just like he gets the ball. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna shoot. I'm just gonna pick a spot.
can't
I'm just gonna
shoot.
shoot.
He
He
can't
can't
shoot.
shoot, but he shoots the ball. Like, I don't get it. Man.
I tell you what Kuzma's doing out there. He's in the damn way. But anyway, we get ready to get on up out of here. I got the last few hours for my birthday, so do a couple things, eat some cake.
Turn
Put
up,
my
bro.
face in some cake.
Oh, okay,
Turn
turn
up.
up.
But soon as these damn kids get out of my face. But anyways, we gotta get on up out of here.
Stop it.
We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Ralph, B, Gresbury, Daniel, appreciate y'all giving
Hey, man.
y'all time
Again,
today.
bro, happy Birthday,
Appreciate
my
that, man. Appreciate that. Another year, more life, more blessings, as my guy
Love
Pete would
Tom
say.
Brady, man. Love Tom Brady.
Don't start. Don't start. Don't
Get
start.
an
Don't
updated
start.
hat.
Don't start. But
Yeah,
anyways,
Send me one.
send you
Bye.
one.
Oh, she said send you her credit card number.
We get ready to get on up out of here. Everybody, you can always listen to previous shows on streaming podcasts like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store. If you want to watch previous episodes, you can always subscribe to the YouTube channel KY Beyond the Game. Gransbury, let them know where they can find you at so they can watch your pick'em shows.
The Gransberry, and I did pick the Rams, Mello.
I appreciate. I
Just so
missed.
you know
Hey,
that.
I missed that show. I caught the one last week, but no, the week before
The
last.
week before, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
caught that one.
I'm fair on my pick. I told you the only team I don't do that on is my own. But I don't use personal feelings to pick teams on the other team.
But
Me
I
neither.
see you had to reach out and have a talk with your team. I saw that, so you finally got a
See?
win.
Hey, guess what? They played the Jaguars. Let's stop that.
No. So Q,
Oh,
this
here you
is
go,
your
Ralph.
show. This
There
is
you
your
go.
show. But let's keep it real. They also almost they were in every game competitively, and a
They
win
did.
is
Yeah,
a
you're right.
freaking win. And
You're
when you
right.
get
Win
a
is a
win,
win.
you'll
Hey,
take it from your mama, your daddy, or
listen,
anybody that's
Whoever.
queen.
hey, my
Whoever.
Broncos beat the
Hey, I
Jets, and I'm
hope
happy with that. So
I hope
don't worry
Plus,
Brandon
you
about
don't
Cooks
want to
that.
keeps it
barely
up.
beat them, right? You don't want to barely beat them. So we needed to beat them that way.
Yeah, I
We needed
did.
everything we could get. What you say,
Uh,
Mello? You hope what?
There he is. I said I hope Brandon Cooks keeps it up. But there goes Todd right there, Q.
Oh
Todd,
yeah.
yeah, I had a message for you earlier, Todd. You
Oh,
might
he
want to
know. That's why he
scroll
started off
back.
like that. What I missed.
Yeah, you know what you missed. But anyways, we get on up out of
Happy
here.
birthday, Q.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Greensbury.
Happy birthday,
Appreciate
my
everybody who
guy.
sent me birthday love. Appreciate that, Daniel. We get ready to get up out of here. We want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We out of here.